So I'm confused. Like, what exactly is this in-season tournament?
Yeah, so it's going to be broken down into two different sections. So we're going to have group play and knockout rounds. So I have the article here from NBA.com, and it says, as revealed today on ESPN, outlined all 30 teams will have been randomly drawn into groups of five within their conference based on win-loss records of 22-23 regular season. Each team will play four designated group games, one game against each opponent in its group, with two games at home, two games on the road on tournament nights, which will take place every Tuesday and Friday in November, the 3rd through the 28th, except for Election Day on the 7th. The NBA games, the only NBA games played on tournament nights will be group play games. So we're gonna have some from the 3rd to the 28th on Tuesday and leave Tuesday and Thursday nights, Tuesday and Friday nights. So it's gonna
Mhm.
be tournament games. So I guess that's to sell tickets in season, drum up a little bit of interest. I do notice they didn't put it competing with Monday Night Football. Didn't put it competing with Sunday Night Football or Thursday Night Football, but Friday you're still competing with college football, which is still
Mm.
a big deal.
Yeah. For me, this reminds me of like what would be like a spirit week in a high school
Yeah.
where they count you off, count from 1 to 5. You put in these groups to win this fucking, I don't know, to win like a gift card to Applebee's, and that's your prize. How does it work for the person who wins the tournament? Like, how
Yeah.
does it affect their playoff abilities?
Yeah, so the second part is the knockout rounds. So this should answer that question. So 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. The team with the best standing record in group play games, um, each of the 6 groups, and 2 wildcards teams. And then the knockout rounds will consist of single elimination games and quarterfinal games played in NBA markets Monday and Tuesday, the 5th of December. And then semifinal and championship games will be played in Las Vegas from the 7th and the 9th, respectively, of December. The knockout games will compete for a prize pool and a new in season tournament trophy, the NBA Cup. And yeah, there's not really any benefits like baseball, at least their conference championship, you can get home field advantage from it. And I feel like
Mm.
that's what the goal of a tournament like this should be, where your regular season record doesn't matter. But to me, this just looks desperate. And I don't want to call it stupid, but at the same time, when you're in the midst of football, do you really think this is going to fix Kawhi holding out and not wanting to play in the first part of the season? Do you really think LeBron is going to be interested in this? Like, who wins this tournament is going to have no impact on your legacy. You're in the middle of football season where people are focusing all of their media coverage on the NFL and college football. You may take like a segment or two away, but the goal of this is to drum up more interest in the regular season, because All-Star weekend is an abysmal failure except for the 3-point competition at this point. So it's like, I get what you're trying to do, but you're kind of just throwing ideas at the wall.
I think it's stupid because like a normal like in season, like if the in season tournament was going to be cool, what they would do is essentially incentivize them for the playoffs. With no playoff inceptions, what are they going to do after this tournament's over? They're just going to go back to playing games, business as usual. But then you're going to have this fucking trophy. Congratulations, you win an extra $100,000 for somebody who makes $40 million a year, and just to win this trophy. And it doesn't help you in the playoffs. You don't get any home field advantage. I don't know how it affects the standings when the season's all done. I guess we'll find out next year. But
Yeah.
it just I just don't see this working at all. Like it just
Yeah.
seems, like you said, it seems desperate, and it also just doesn't make any sense. Who is this for? Is this for us
Yeah.
to retain retention? Because I feel like there's better ways to do that than the way they're doing it now.
So you want to know, like, NBA players, like, on average, you're making like 10 million
Yeah.
if you're bad.
Yeah.
Like average players at this point Dylan Brooks get paid 4 years, $80 million. So he's making a bag as a really good defender, but a guy who can't really can but can't shoot in the league.
Hmm.
But the prize pool and incentive for this will definitely get Kawhi out of bed, who's getting paid $40 million a year. Players on the winning team of the championship will receive 500,000 each.
Whoa.
Wow, crazy money being thrown around here. And then players on the losing team of the championship will receive 200,000 each. Players of the losing team on the semifinals will receive 100,000 each, and then quarterfinals will receive $50,000 each. So
The quarterfinal. Congrats. You're gonna get $10,000 from that.
yeah, this should be like a tournament of non-playoff, just so we can see some of those stars who like maybe like LaMelo Ball, who's stuck on the Hornets, can really go out there and ball out. But I think it's embarrassing. You want to ask Jason Tatum or Giannis to get up for this?
Or like this would work better for the G League. Like this would make sense for like they're trying to spark up excitement for the Ignite League or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Like do it with that league, but this is a professional basketball. This is one of the biggest brands in all of professional sports, and I just feel like they're kind of taking a shit on the brand of the NBA with doing this. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt this year, but like best believe when December comes around and we finish this tournament and we're back to business as usual, right around the time when the NBA is actually interesting in the regular season, I guess we'll see whether or not we are fans of this tournament.
Yeah, but what are we gonna come on this podcast and talk about? Did you see the NBA tournament and who won it? Yeah. How do you think that impacts their like legacy and career? Like Jokic winning a championship for his team did and leading his team in points, assists, and rebounds for 6 seasons, which is more than anyone in history. Like, how do you think it affects someone's legacy? We'll come on here and be like,
It
doesn't.
It doesn't at
It
all.
doesn't.
Imagine if like try to think of somebody who doesn't really have like much winning success. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to pick on James Harden for a second. Imagine if this tournament has been around for the last decade and we could say, well, James Harden is a 10-time tournament champion of the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
What are we going to say? Is that going to change his legacy? No, he still needs to win a title.
Yeah. He still hasn't been to the finals since he's been with OKC and Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, all those guys.
Yeah. Joel Embiid. Is his legacy going to be sustained? Is he going to be considered one of the greatest big men of all time?
No.
If he's a 3-time NBA Cup champion? Absolutely not. It's the Mickey Mouse Award.
Yeah, it really is. And I feel like players are going to treat it like that. Like, you can't fool players. Like, you can't fool people and trick them into getting up for something in November. I thought this was supposed to be a midseason tournament. The season starts in October.
Yeah. So it's just it's just basically the first half
Yeah.
of the season. This is ridiculous. Yeah, this is a joke.
Yeah, so they're like, they heard their criticism. No one watches the NBA before Christmas. Okay, we'll put a tournament there. People are like, what? What do you mean? And then we have All-Star Weekend in February. No one cares about that. And then April, everyone starts watching the NBA playoffs. I still think those people who only watch it during the playoffs, I guarantee you 80% of the people that's the only time they watch basketball will not know this tournament exists.